Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 TS Hub. We are finally back for Season 11 and we have a race to bring you for the first time on a Friday night in quite a while. I've got alongside me the one and only Odems. Welcome Odems.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all, and looks like we got some rain on the cards, as we're already seeing, as the drivers are sitting in their garage, now thinking what on earth are they going to do with their car setup. Parc Fermé is on, of course, and just to remind you, this is a short qualifying session followed by a 50% race. Odems, we're back with the podium tier, finally.
Yeah, we are. It's been what's felt like a long wait. We have a lot of new arrivals, people moving up, people dropping down, people staying put, and I'm very excited to see how it goes, especially with this rain here.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited as well, and we're going to have to get used to these drivers in some of their new cars. Of course, driver who we're riding on board with now, Jonas, scored his first podium last season in the podium tier, and he's now in a Mercedes this season, moved over from the McLaren. So we're just going to have to get used to some of the names that we do know if they have changed team.
Yeah, sure. And the teammates as well, because a lot of surprise teammates, I think a lot of people didn't see coming.
Yeah, you got that right. And what we also didn't see coming is this weather at the moment. It can rain in Austria, of course, quite frequently, as we're seeing a few drivers take to the track. And this is really going to give us an insight, Odems, into some of these new guys and how they're going to fare. As Z4 goes straight on at the hairpin. It's a tricky corner, that one.
Yeah. Z4 we saw in the practice, official practice session, a race rather. Yesterday he struggled in the dry, so I'm not too excited for him in the wet, but hopefully he can get it all sorted out and get back on track.
Yeah, these conditions is all about feeling where the grip is, making yourself feel as comfortable as you can so that you can try and nail a tidy lap. And I don't know about you, Odems, but I always think in the rain you almost need to build up and build up, so always a bit of extra fuel never hurt. And of course you want to avoid some of the slippery curbs, because around this track there's grass and gravel just the other side.
Another thing about this track is that it's so short, and this doesn't even change in the rain. Jor is getting held up on his lap by Maverick, who's also on the lap, so he has every right to be. He's overtaken him, in fact. So I imagine Jor will have a quicker lap than Maverick, unless something catastrophic happens. But yeah, Jor having to make an overtake on his qualifying lap, it shows the nature of this track. Dansford gets nicely out of the way.
Yeah, it definitely does. So let's just run through. We've got Alan, who's new, Greenfin, who raced last season, Jorrit, who is new, Yavin Giggle, which is new, Emphatix, of course, race premium driver, he raced last season. We got Reflow, who is new, Rex raced in the Pinnacle tier last season, Mathis is new, Maverick, of course, raced in the Podium tier last season, so he feels well at home. Dan's car is new, Razor, he's a veteran here at F1 TS Hub. And then you've got Joel, who's moved down from the Pinnacle tier, and he'll be taking on this Podium tier in Season 11. And then, of course, Z4, who is new as well. So a right mixture, Odems, of drivers here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of experience, a lot of naivety, and Alan rather, first person to set a lap in the F1 TS Hub of the Season 11. That's something you can put on his name. And he goes first with a 72 that is matched by Jor and ZR Flow. So it's looking close.
It definitely is, and this is a track where there's only a few corners, so it will be close throughout the whole qualifying. And of course, we have our Pinnacle tier at 8 PM, which is next up, and then you've got our Prestige tier at 9 PM later on tonight, which Odems, of course, you'll be featuring in. And it's a pretty exciting time for F1 TS Hub, Odems. We've moved from 40 drivers to 60 drivers going to be racing with us tonight, and I can't wait to either commentate or watch all of the action live at F1 TS Hub, of course.
Yeah, I just know as soon as this race ends, I'm going to head straight over to the Pinnacle tier. Probably should be practicing for my Prestige race, but I will head over to the Pinnacle tier to see how what's going on, because we got such an exciting driver lineup throughout all the tiers. So yeah, very exciting times.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be really interesting to see how both of the other tiers get on. But for right now, Joe goes quickest. He's into the 16s, the only driver to do so far. So he's obviously got a good clean lap in without any traffic, and he's showing us exactly what he can do. Rex came into the pits, meanwhile he bailed on that outrun, and now he's come back to try again, set another time. Razor hasn't set a lap time yet, and he crosses a line, and now he jumps into 4th position. So still a few drivers in the 17s there, and gonna look to see whether anyone can challenge Joy. He's got quite a bit of a margin at the moment, does he, Odems?
Yeah, he does. It goes to show that it's not common to set one lap on your inters and come back into the pits. It's usually good to set multiple laps, get them warmed up, getting yourself accustomed to the weather, and Jor's done just that, and he's gone first, and now Jonas slots into second. It's very tight at the podium position so far.
Yeah, it was tight in qualifying night, Adams. You know, when the tiers were split from our of course, exclusive qualifying night, it was so close to the top 20, the middle 20, and the bottom 20 that it's hard to choose. And I know in the Prestige tier later on tonight, all the drivers were separated by 0.8 of a second.
Wow.
And Joel goes even quicker, so he's feeling comfortable in that Toro Rosso this season, Odems.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't think anyone's going to have an answer to that one. It's a very good lap. 1:15.9. Very good lap.
So George still out on track, of course, in that Mercedes. He scored his first podium last season in Spa, I believe, Odems. And what do you make of him? His goals, what they should be for this season?
The championship easily enough. I mean, he was a point scorer on occasion in the pinnacle tier. I imagine he'd be maybe disappointed with getting down to the podium tier, but all he can do right now is just maximize it. And he's doing that so far with a brilliant lap. 1:15.9, and Joran does well to take second, and as a continuing theme is that the podium positions are very hard fought at the moment. Greenfin coming across the line now.
Yeah, so every driver from 2nd all the way down to 8th is currently in the 17s. What can Greenfin do? He's not going to improve. That was a slow lap, that one. So a few drivers are back in the pits for a new set of boots. We do have 19 drivers in this tier at the moment. We will shortly be getting someone else in for next week from our waiting list. Of course, if you're interested in signing up to the league, head over to www.f1tshub.com. And Odems, we're hearing that we might have another driver joining us before the race who was unable to make qualifying, so that'll give us 15 out of the 19 here tonight. It's going to be an exciting season. Z4 goes off.
Yeah, just watching you. He's struggling out there. But yeah, again, very exciting season in the works, and look forward to it.
Me too.
Crawling around the place.
Yeah, I'm on board with Greenfin now to see whether he's going to go any quicker this lap. Of course, he's in the Ferrari this season, and he's actually the podium tier coordinator. So, if any of our podium drivers have any questions or concerns, he's the man they need to go and speak to. Jorit, meanwhile, has jumped Jonas into 2nd. It's pretty close there between about 2nd and 5th. It's only a couple tenths of a second cover those 3 or 4 drivers.
Yeah, very, very close. I'd love to see if anyone can, Tempest is going 9 miles an hour. I'd love to see if anyone can challenge Jor, though, as the session's time ekes down.
Oh, what's happened to Rex?
Oh dear.
Doesn't look like he's got any damage to me.
I don't think he has a front wing. No, he doesn't. Maybe he's just... That's odd. It's very odd.
Zed Floor as well, what's happened to him? He's also retired, so both Williams drivers just retiring for some unknown reason, it appears.
Yeah.
There definitely would be time to come in and get a new set of boots if it was something to do with that, but obviously both William boys heading back to the garage and calling it an early night for this qualifying session. Joel still sits on pole with a 15.9. Currently in the pit lane, just over 2 minutes left of the session. Odems, do you want to quickly run through the order?
Yeah, we have Jor on pole, a clear second ahead of Jorit, with Jonas, who's coming across the last corner to start his lap. We have Alan, newcomer, in 4th place, who was matching Jor early on in the session. ZR Flow is in 5th. He set a decent lap, but he decided to retire, so maybe he felt he couldn't get anything more out of the car. In 5th is Greenfin, who's entering the pits. Empatix in 7th is still crawling. Razard is in 8th place. Matt is in 9th. He managed to just about squeak into the lobby in time. Danskar in 10th, he's in the pit lane. You Having a Giggle is on his lap, and I think he's on a pretty decent lap as well. Maverick, who's just gone wide in the hairpin, is in 12th place. And Z4 in 10th, or 13th rather.
Commentator's curse there for you Having a Giggle. He looked like he was on quite a quick one, but a bit of oversteer through well, just as he's coming into the final sector, the fast left to right hander. He's going to exit the final corner now. Of course, he'll have time for one more lap. What is this one going to be? It's still going to be up there. He doesn't improve though. 17.9. He does improve. Razor jumps into 2nd place, gets in the 16s. Just under.
Improved, but maybe he did by a very little bit.
Just under a minute left now of the session. Mathis has just crossed the line, so he's going to get that attempt.
Jonas.
Yep, here he comes across the line. Improves up to 2nd, 16.6, so the times are coming down. Can anyone challenge Joe? He stayed in the pits, Odem, so he must feel comfortable with that time.
Rightly so. Yeah, you Having a Giggle. I think he's... I don't want to give him a commentator's curse, so I'm going to say he's on a terrible lap. Z4 going across the line. Odd line he's taken. Will he improve?
Razor's still out there as well. Can he go even quicker? He's only going to get to complete this lap. Jorit's in the pits. He's called a day. Allen's improved as well. He's up in the middle sector of this last flying lap. Mathis is slightly down in the middle sector. Greenfin's staying in the pits. Empatix finally made it back to the pits. You Having a Giggle. What can he do? He's coming in to the penultimate corner now. Runs it out nicely to the curb. Razor jumps back into 2nd. You Having a Giggle jumps into 2nd.
Takes up.
Allen jumps 3rd. What can Jonas do?
I think he's the last one to cross the line.
Z4, I'm not sure where Z4 is. He's on currently 119, but what can Jonas do? They did get close to Jaw, did they, Odems? So what can Jonas do? Last man to cross the line. Is he able to take pole position? No, it's only good enough for 4th, but almighty close there, the top 5. And it's going to be an exciting race with those 5 starting in the front couple and a half rows of the grid.
Yeah, I do love how after Season 10, the teammates, Jonas, the McLaren duo of Jonas and Razor, they were neck and neck pretty much every race. It seems they still have a grudge to sort out. They're, what, half a tenth between each other? So they're not done.
They definitely aren't, so we'll bring you confirmation of the official results. Here we go. Joel takes the first pole position in Season 11 in the podium tier. You Having a Giggle on his debut joins him on the front row. Alan again on his debut in 3rd. Jonas takes 4th. Razor takes 5th. Jurit takes 6th. Reflow takes 7th. Mathis is in 8th. Greenfin is in 9th. Empatic just sneaks inside the top 10. Danskar 11th. Maverick 12th. Z4 is 13th, and Rex did not set a time. He'll be starting in 14th position for today's race.
I enjoyed that quality session, you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was very entertaining end to the session. So, what is the weather going to hold for us? It looks pretty dry to start with here, and we are definitely in for a treat. Of course, all drivers will now, Odems, get to pick their choice of tyre, no matter where they start on the grid.
One of the benefits of a wet quality that you get to have fresh tyres for the race, which is very useful around here. You can one stop. So
drivers are obviously choosing their strategy, choosing their fuel load. Odems, what sort of strategy are we looking at here? 1 stop, 2 stop, and what tyres are expected to be the most popular?
An ultra stop, ideal time to pit would be lap 11 or 12. Then you just go the softs to the end.
So we have a formation lap, of course, so it gives us time to have a little breather as they all exit their pit box for a practice start. We'll just get our timing screens all set up here. we'll bring you confirmation as well that so Lukey has joined the session. He didn't complete in qualifying, but he is now unable to get in. He joined just a little bit too late, Odems. That'll be the same for I think it's White Eagle as well. So we're going to start this race with 14, and it's going to be an interesting one. Let's run through who's starting on what. Joel's gone for the ultra soft tire. Then you've got you having a giggle, Alan, Jonas, and Razor all on the supers. Joret's gone for the ultras. Zed Reflow is gone for the supers. The only driver to start on the softs is Mathis, and then from 9th down to 14th, all are starting on the supers as well. So getting as much heat into the tire as they can. Oden's not too long before we get this one underway. The first race of season 11. You excited?
Very excited. Excited to see what Primal Rex can do. Obviously a pinnacle driver last season. He's starting at the back, so we expect him to charge in the field. Hopefully he can keep it clean. I'm interested to see Joe on the Ultra Sauce, because I don't think that's the best race tire. And from 2nd to 5th, all having the right idea and starting on the supers. Then Jordan, who's going to be quicker than them early on. It's going to be interesting to see if he can try and just overtake them. Definitely a lot of dynamics in this race to just make me very excited for sure.
Well, as they line up on the grid, if they are disqualified, that is just from the formation lap. That is not from the race. We are fully set up here. Let's go over to position change so we can keep an eye on. You mentioned that Z4 in the official practice session on Thursday left it late on the brakes into turn 1, caused some chaos. Are we going to have chaos for the first race here at F1 TS Hub in season 11 for the podium tier? The lights are on and they're off, and looks like Yavin Giggle gets a good start. He's almost alongside Joel. Are they going to be battling into turn 1? There's a Ferrari right on the inside, 3 wide. Look like they made it just about through. Yavin Giggle takes the lead.
Jor's got him back though with a great switchback. Brilliant stuff from Jor. He just did the over-under on him, and now he's going to have the inside line for the hairpin.
So it looks like all drivers have got away cleanly. We're seeing Toro Rosso go very deep there. Bit of front wing carbon fiber flying all over the place. Drivers using the runoff area and rejoining safely as looks to be. You've got Rex already up 8 positions, 9 positions now into 5th place, challenging the Mercedes.
Wow.
So he's had a blinder. No, Jonas gets back through. Rex goes wide into the gravel. He's going to lose some momentum from that. And Joel still leads this race. Emphatic is up 6 positions as well. So biggest losers from that is definitely Razor's moving up. Someone's falling down the order. They must have had an incident.
Yeah, Max was a Toro Rosso who just creamed everyone into the hairpin. And now he just went wide into, I think, turn 6. And went onto the gravel. But yeah, brilliant start, chaotic start. Jordan did so well. Yeah, he just let you having a giggle have the inside line and did the over-under.
Renault's in the pits.
And took the lead back. Brilliant stuff.
That was, I believe, Z4 and... That was Z4 and Flo, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were battling side by side. One of them's definitely got wing damage. I think that's Z4. I think that might be that Reflow has got away with that one without too much damage to his car, but they went both cascading to the inside wall after the last corner. Emphatic's up into a podium position, starting 10th. So Jorit, Mathis, Rex, and Dan's car, the 4 drivers to come into the pit at the end of the first lap. And they haven't disappointed us so far, Odens.
No, at all. I don't know what to watch. Jor has a 2-second lead already. So fair play to him there. Yeah, Emphatic's done so well. We were about to say the same thing about Prime Evil Rex, but I don't know, something must have happened to him. I think he had a battle with someone and now he's had to have a pit stop.
Yeah, definitely.
Right behind Alan.
Definitely is, and you've also got Jonas is right behind Alan, and then behind that you've got the Ferrari driver of Razor. So what can Jonas do down the inside? DRS of course isn't activated until they've crossed the line to start lap 3, but it's not activated just yet.
Did he go for a move when you think better of it? We heard George say in the pre-race interviews that one thing he wanted to improve was his overtaking. That he wanted to be aggressive but clean. So here's his first challenge in the form of Alan in the Red Bull. See if he can improve his overtaking like he said he wanted to. Z4 is falling down the order with that front wing damage, and Maverick has now got him.
Yeah, no, actually that Maverick was in 8th, so... Oh, now it goes back through, so Maverick lost a position to reflow there. And now he's lost another position in 10th, but still up from where he started. The only drivers to stay in the position that they qualified are Joe, you having a giggle. Oh, Z4 goes wide there, recovers it. But it looks like Odem's that wing damage, he's really suffering from it at the moment. Surely needs to come in and get some repairs.
Here comes Jonas right on the back of Alan. Alan has to go defensive because Jonas lost such a good run. Alan has a bad line. Really, you over-under on him.
This is some good racing here from these guys.
Very good racing, yeah. George pulled alongside, Jonas has pulled alongside. Looks like Alan has very good straight line speed though, to be fair to him. On the brakes, ooh, a bit of a lock-up. Almost a bit wide. And,
that's going to allow...
Here comes Razor.
Yeah, fantastic. Razor has to lift off slightly there. Jonas covers him off in 4th position. The 2 Red Bull fan wheels, Razor ends up lifting off. I don't think he wanted that. Alan brakes late. Jonas covers him off. Is Razor going to get the switchback on both of them? Round the outside to the next corner. Is he going to be able to hold it? We'll look back. Jonas throws it back down the inside. Amazing stuff side by side through this sweeping corner. And has Jonas managed to fend him off? Yes, he's done just enough this time around. Fantastic racing from these guys.
That was amazing from everyone involved. Wow, Razor is not done. They're going to go side by side to the penultimate corner. Jonas goes a bit wide, recovers it. A bit wide again. Razor's going to have a great run. DRS open. Whoa! Jonas wanted to put him into the wall there. Almost did. Razor, very straight line speed. Gets the position done. The switchback is on. They're going to go side by side again. Brilliant stuff here.
It sounds like you're enjoying this one. Oh, almost a wheel bang there.
Really am.
Jonas tucks in beside. Is he going to go down the inside again? Are they both going to be able to make the corner? Bit of a correction for the Red Bull, but I think he's just about got a better exit. And now Jonas is under attack from Razor, the other Red Bull driver. Green Finn, meanwhile, just sitting behind, watching what's unfolding in front of him. How late is Razor going to go on the brakes? Jonas looks pretty good on the brakes today, Odems.
Yeah, Alan couldn't really do much about that, but hats off to Razor. He's got the pair of them. Fair play to him there, completely. Brilliant driving from him. Need to have a little rest after that. That was amazing. They were side by side for the best part of the lap. And what, this has been like, what, 5 laps into the season? We've already had a magnificent piece of racing. So, yeah, amazing stuff.
Joel still leads, now, eking out that gap over You Having a Giggle. And look at Greenfin now, he's got DRS. The Williams as well of Reflow isn't that far behind. So this midfield battle just outside the podium position is proving to be the one to watch at the moment. Speaking of watching, hello to everyone who is joining us live at F1 TS Hub on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and of course head over to all of our social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and for full race updates and lots going on throughout the week. Odems, we'll talk about Media Day in a second because we've got yellow flags in Sector 3. What are they for?
Joran in the Ferrari, he spun it on a turn, I believe, 7.
Jora and Joel sound very similar. I switched over to Joel there thinking he's spun it from the lead. But no, Joel still, and Jora spins it, he's in the wall. He's in the wall.
Oh,
Left
no,
wheel gone. Jora is out of this race. So it just shows you, Odin, when your car's damaged, how tricky, and your tires are dirty, how tricky this track can be, and how cruel this track can be. So he is out of this race.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a safety car, because that game doesn't exist in this game, unfortunately. But he was going to get lapped by Tor before he spun, so not a good start, not a good race for him at that point.
Alan going defensive, by the way. Green Finn, what's he going to do? Try and get a better exit. Alan seems to go a little bit deep into that turn 1. It seems to be costing him on the run down to, is it turn, what do they call it, turn 2 or 3? So, doesn't quite have enough straight line speed, does Green Finn, but of course DRS is now going to be activated come this straight. He's got a good exit as well. We'll watch him line it up and see whether he tries to move down to the inside or outside. Meanwhile, You Having a Giggle is holding that gap, if not closed it by a 10th or 2. So he's not letting Joel pull away just yet, unless Joel's looking after his tires or doing some race management. Meanwhile, Z4 and Maverick has completely split up, so Maverick seems to have pulled away. We missed that one, but Z4 currently occupying the last point scoring position. Dan Scar struggling in the Renault.
Yeah, Rose is actually catching this battle between Greenfin and Alan. So it seems maybe Alan has a bit more qualifying pace. He does race pace. I know how that feels. I feel for him. And it has a bit of a tiny mini train walking up behind him. As you haven't Giggle has now got that gap to 2.8. This Greenfin has gone very wide.
Yeah, that's a rare mistake from Greenfin, that is.
Yeah, he's usually a very careful driver, but I don't know. It is very hard to miss to get your braking point when you're following another driver here, especially so closely. But that's
so,
really set our flow. Now he's in our chance.
We're going to see what he can do. Of course, debut race it is, and look at that gap. It's come under 3 seconds now, 2.7 between Yavin Giggle and Joel. Of course, Joel started on a different tyre. Let's switch over and get confirmation. First of all, we've got Dan's car, Rex, Mathis, who have stopped. Joret, of course, is out the race. In terms of tyres, we can see that perhaps that ultra soft tyre has gone past its best, and all the cars behind are going to start closing that gap to the leader.
Yeah, it looks like it. The super soft is the better race tyre, but Tor, to be fair to him, had a brilliant first stint. As Yavin Giggle went a bit tail happy there, lost a bit of time. Jor had a brilliant first stint, so he managed to eke out that gap. And fair play to him, because it was so crucial that he stayed in front of you having a Giggle. Because if he was like still behind him, that would be almost race over for Jor with the weaker tire. So yeah, I think right now you having Giggle has a tire advantage, but it's gonna take a lot to get that gap now for sure.
Yeah, we haven't spoken too much about Emphatix, but he's not exactly falling away. You mentioned before the race off air that Emphatix is a driver to watch this season, and he's currently in third position. He's kept his Force India contract for this season, and he isn't too far away from the two in front, so what can he do? Meanwhile, Reflow isn't that far away from catching Alan.
Yep, they're both on the AI car, not even, I don't think he's left. The AI car, Mathis is being lapped, so might get in the way of Alan. I don't think he's enjoying being behind him.
No, it's definitely distracting.
Yeah.
Gonna have DRS though, is the Williams driver.
Yeah. It's vital to get a good run out of this corner. It's just hard to. Oh!
He thought about that.
He was trying to get a good run, but he was trying to get a good entry there. He very late on the brakes. But as I was saying, with 30 it's very pivotal to get a good run out of the first corner, and you having a Giggle is now only 1.9 seconds behind Jor.
And look at Rex.
Right.
Rex has caught up to Dan's car. Dan's car went for the soft tyre at his pit stop, so Rex is on the supers. What can he do as they head towards turn 1? Rex, of course, moved down from the pinnacle tier last season, so is he going to do what you say, Odems? Line up a good exit. He hits the curb beautifully. Bit of oversteer, but if he tucks in, surely the quicker tyres is going to enable him to sling one down the inside here, or is he going to wait to the corner after? He waits for this time around, gets very close, gets a good exit, activates DRS now. You can see the green bar in the bottom right hand side of your screen, and Dan's car goes slightly defensive, but is Rex going to try down the inside? Rex goes down the inside, both braking very late, but the Renault beautifully covers him off, gives him just enough room, and then says basically, no, you ain't quite having that there, so keeps the position for another lap, Odems.
Yeah, he does. The gap is 1.6 at the top now. I was just keeping an eye on that. Also keeping an eye on ZR Flow, who's still struggling on that first corner. He can't get close to the back of you, Alan, to really benefit. Alan goes a bit wide into the hairpin, and that helps him on the exit. So it's going to be a long race for ZR Flow if he can't maximize that first corner. But as you were saying, very good defensive drive from Dan's car, especially since he gave the required space. His primeval Rex is getting very tail happy on the exit first corner.
So, Reflow, 0.3 of a second. You having a Giggle, 1.3 seconds behind the leader now. So, closing that gap. Jules coming to the pits. So, our race leader our pole sitter is into the pits.
I do think it was a mixture of George's tires going off and you having to giggle just putting the hammer down. Or maybe everything's made a mistake because that gap was 1.8, it's now 3.4. So he's done well to eke that out. And now we're all over George. Will he come out in front of... Oh, this is not a good place to come out for George. He has 2 cars swapping for position. Will it be 3 cars with Greenfin? He just gets out ahead of Greenfin, that's going to be important. But here we go, is that our flow? On the back of Alan. Just about gives enough space.
Alan seems like he knows how to defend in that Red Bull. They have a little touch.
Yeah.
Is this going to allow... Of course, Jaws now got a new set of boots on. So Jaws actually put the Ultras on. So he's definitely going for a 2-stop.
Yeah, going for a 2-stop. That's a strange decision.
And this is compromising him. This is compromising him a lot to having a giggle. Is he going to try and do something in these fast corners? I don't know if he's going to have enough grip. No, he isn't able to. This is costing him time to having a giggle, and you would say that this undercut at the moment isn't doing him any favours as Rex comes back into the pits.
Not at all. You having a giggle is licking his lips if he knows what's going on. Oh, George caught these guys at the worst possible moment, and now he's just stuck behind 2 cars battling. You do not want to be stuck behind 2 cars battling. Gets a good run right on the back of ZR-Flow. I don't think ZR-Flow is going to really challenge him so much.
Needs to be careful though, because Greenfin is lurking just behind. George isn't able to get it done. He compromised his exit. The Williams of Rex, I believe, has just come out in front of these guys just to make it even more difficult. Whoa! Rex slows down quite slowly in the middle there. Yeah, so the Red Bull had to take quite avoiding action. George, can he get past through this time?
Then our flow's getting DRS from Alan, so George can't get past.
That extra grip, he needs to use it. He's gonna have to see if he can find somewhere else to pass as he goes deep there. Is he gonna try and do the switch back a little bit? But he's just gonna catch him in these quick corners, and there's just no way past. As he's tentative on the acceleration there, he doesn't want to get too close.
You have to giggle. He's licking his lips watching this as Jordan goes gets a bit twitchy on the entry. Now Ali goes a bit wide. Oh, Jordan's the yellow. Oh, this is going to get even worse for Jordan. His Greenfin is now going to the inside. And we have 2 wide in front as well.
Yeah, so the 2 in front battling side by side, double into turn 1. And Jor and Greenfin have a little wheel bang there. As Rex is on fresh tyres, of course, so he is out of position in terms of his race today. It hasn't gone the right way for him, so he should definitely be up there.
And he goes wide, and ZR finally gets the move done, and surely this will help Jordan to get the move done as well. Although, yeah, surely Jordan will get the move done. Although Alan has a bit of a slipstream, but on the inside, no, chooses not to.
Rex spun it into the barrier there, by the way, on the exit of that slow corner.
Here comes looking for Rex, but here comes Jor around the outside. Ooh, Alan not yielding at all. He doesn't care that Jor's on the fresher tires. He's gonna fight for every inch of this track. Jor gets a good run though, but again, just the worst possible moment to catch. If I were you, having
wing damage.
Yeah, looks like
Alan comes into the pits.
It looks like Alan was coming to the pits, but he didn't really use the pit line, so Jor was caught out by the main speed difference. And if Jor's race wasn't compromised before, it's ruined now.
Yeah, it's definitely compromised now. And you having a giggle, and Emphatic's, of course, still haven't come into pits. Razor has pulled away from this gap. And funny that you see Razor and Jonas 3rd and 4th. We're often used to seeing them next to each other on track. Bit of a gap between them, but Alan, where is he going to come out as he exits in 9th position now, just behind Maverick?
Yeah, I really think Alan should have used the pit line there instead of just taking the normal line. Really caught Jor out there.
Here comes Joe and Reflow. So Joe, is he able to? He's definitely struggling with that front wing. Surely he should come in, stick a set of soft tires on, and go to the Endodems.
Yeah, I think that's his only option, really.
Top 2 pit. Top 2 pit.
Yeah, and they come down. Probably go down as one of the worst stints ever.
You're having a giggle. was slow getting away from his pit box there. It was the green light it showed on the indicator, but he hadn't pulled away straight away, so just needs to navigate this pit exit, which is a tricky one. And he will come out in 3rd position ahead of Jaw by, what, a couple of seconds? That looks like to me 1.6.
Second and a half. I reckon if Jordan get that front wing damage, he might have actually got it.
So you having a giggle perhaps didn't have the best pace, but it didn't matter because of, you know, Jaw was caught up fighting. So Razart now leads this race. His previous teammate last season is in 2nd place. You having a giggle comes out 3rd. So Emphatix has come out just ahead of Greenfin. So
yeah.
Emphatix and you having a giggle are both going to the end of the race, as is Alan, as you would expect. So we're not sure. Dance Car will probably have to pit again.
I imagine so. Let's see if Emphatix will be able to clear ZR Flow, although ZR Flow might be pitting.
Razart's in.
As soon as
Jonas is in.
Emphatix has the back of him. ZR Flow pit? I think so.
So perhaps that's something Joe will be going to the stewards about, if that's going to cost him the race win. Razor and Jonas, as you mentioned, in the pit. So is Greenfin, and so is Z4. And we're seeing Emphatix trying to attack. Does a switch on the inside, just given enough room, but that's going to compromise his exit and his run all the way down to turn 2. So, well, as Jonas now exits the pits ahead of Razart. So what happened there? Front wing change for Razart, maybe?
Possibly. He was keeping he was keeping up with it. He was like keeping the gap the same with Jonas, so he wasn't losing time. Maybe he did change front wing. Maybe he got remarkably held up. But yeah, I think today we're seeing a lot of drivers. I think overestimate the overtaking potential of turn 1, and instead not like setting up the move for turn 2 instead, because a lot of moves being attempted to turn 1 and none of them are really coming off.
Yeah, it's only compromising the exit. Yeah, he's using the pit lane. Oh, it's still close there. Emphatix chooses to use a lot of the pit lane himself to take that corner. And yes, he is now back up to 3rd position behind Jaw. So, well done to him.
Yeah, the pit lane unfortunately converges with the racing line, so you have to compromise if you're behind the car and they're coming into the pits. And obviously the racer's instinct is to compromise as little as possible. And unfortunately, Emphatix escaped damage. Now we're going to see Emphatix chase down Jor.
Maverick in the pit as well. Yellow flags in sector 1.
Jor's lost about 2 seconds to you having a giggle. So, very unfortunate for him.
Gaps are sort of evened out, Odems, throughout the field now. No one within DRS after this, what we presume to be a lot of people's last round of pit stops, and you having a giggle in prime position, because what you got to remember is Jaw needed to gain time that pit stop because he's got to come in again. So the fact he's lost time has really come. You've got a Salva spinning, just about avoids reflow, and who was that? Z4. So getting lapped and having a bit of a scruffy race on his debut, but you got to start somewhere, as they say. He hits the rumble strip, and he just needs to be careful. It looks like he's got wing damage as well. Jonas sets the fastest lap as Jaw comes into the pit. So Jaw's going on the supers. Perhaps he's got a front wing change as well. Perhaps that's his only saviour. He is going to be on the quicker tyre for what you presume to be the remainder of the race. Be interesting to see where he comes out. Looks like the Red Bull he was battling earlier has gone through. And will Reflow go through? This will be a close one. Reflow's going to have the extra speed. And looks like he's just going to get past.
Yeah.
Jaw not having very much luck with his pit exits, is he, today?
No, he's not. Down the inside he goes. He's not hanging around this time, but ZR keeps the position. I think it's interesting to note that I don't think Alan got the last one on ZR flow there. It's 2 seconds ahead. And Jordan no longer has to deal with 2 cars battling, he just has the 1. But interesting to see where what he can salvage, because he has people on the soft tires in front of him. He's on the quicker tire. He's going to the end, I'd imagine. Where can he salvage? I think around maybe 5th is his best bet, which was looking so good from after qualifying. But
Well, it looks to me that Jonas is two-stopping, so it'd be interesting to see where Jonas comes out in his final stint, as they both go wide in the penultimate corner there. And yeah, Jonas has gone on to the ultras, so he'll have to come in again. And what can Joel do? Joel needs to be clinical with these overtakes. We've seen him be quick. We've seen him get pole position as Dan Carr and Z4 come into the pits, both from the soft tyre. Yeah, it's just going to be, he needs to be clinical with these overtakes.
Jor has no straight line speed, rather.
Front line speed, I haven't heard that one before. And he does get a bit of a cutback. DRS is open.
Yeah.
Reflo goes defensive in his Williams. Is he going to go defensive enough? He just hangs to the outside. Jaw comes down the inside, and Reflo doesn't put up too much of a fight. Jaw goes through up into 6th position. Odems, Pinnacle tier starts at 8 PM, so our drivers will be getting their invites sent out now. Of course, this is the first time that we'll of course be streaming more than one race live, so they'll head into their short qualifying session at 8 o'clock. And a lot of the drivers there, of course, have moved up from the podium tier. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. Best of luck to, of course, Jono and Jamie, who are commentating tonight. First time as a duo. And I'll be jumping onto that stream as soon as this one finishes. We have 21 out of 36 laps complete. And this race is far from over, as Emphatix gets the gap to lead under 6 seconds now.
And he does. I don't think any of us has anyone got penalties from the front, so I don't think I've been paying attention to them.
I haven't seen anything pop up in the bottom left-hand side of the screen for the race control, but Odems, of course, that is a very valid point. It isn't far-fetched to have some penalties change the positions at the end of the race. Look at that, Odems. Look what you just done to Z4 then.
What happened? Oh, he got a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, he just got a penalty, so your commentator cursed him. And that gap, you're having a giggle. Talk about him today. He qualified on the front row of the grid. It was very close in qualifying. He just managed to get ahead of the best of the rest. And now he's leading this race.
I had a look in the race director, which I don't usually do for a race, but it's worth noting that the front two don't even have a single warning after 21 laps. That's amazing.
Well, just shows you
consistency
is going to be key this season. And oh, look at that, 2 drivers in a row just got penalties, Joel being one of them. So his race, he is right behind now Alan in the Red Bull, who's again is having a good showing here tonight. Odems in his first race at F1 TS Hub.
He's defended well, he's driven well, he had a decent qualifying as well. So it's a fair play to him. He's going to have Jor for company now. I think he's going to defend his position a bit harder than ZR did.
Yeah, he kind of covered the middle of the track there, and it's if you do sling it down the inside like Joe did, you need to be late on the brakes and make sure you get your car ahead. Otherwise, the gap will just disappear. Jonas now gets a penalty, so they're flooding in after Odems cursed him. Joe hits him.
Oh.
Joe hits the back of Alan. More wing damage.
Yeah. It seems the speed differential through these corners is just catching Joe out. I think he might still be, I don't know how bad damage is, but he might still be level on pace with him with fresher tyres, but his front tyres are going to shred. And I feel for George today. He's not had a very good race, has he?
No, he's definitely, but I think on the ultra soft tyre, the majority of his rivals started on the super soft, so perhaps he was already at a disadvantage. Another penalty. Odems, you really commentator cursed half the field here tonight with that, so yeah, they'll watch this afterwards and go, thanks Odems for that.
I was watching that, you just went a bit wide there. I think it's very unforgiving, the warnings around here. He just went wide, that was all. First corner, no gaining time or anything. So yeah.
Odems, it was yesterday, every Thursday before our races on Friday, of course, is Media Day. You are the F1 TS Hub official press officer. Talk us through what happened yesterday. We had a lot of activity in the paddock, and just talk us through a little bit about what went on and anything that caught your eye.
Yeah, let me just get the website open. Thank you for speaking this on me.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Dan's car has an incident, by the way, and in 10th position. He was quite close to Maverick, but he's dropped a few seconds, so I don't know if they got too close for comfort. but I think you having a giggle just lapped Dan's car, so that explains the car just in front of him. Reflow is close to Joel's close to Alan. These three yellow flags in sector 3. What else is going on? We've got Dan's car really struggling to get that gravel and off his tires. And now who's that? Who's that? Rex has had an incident. So Rex in the Williams is having a nightmare of the race as well. It seems like those who have dropped down from the pinnacle tier aren't favouring this podium tier too well with in terms of luck.
Yeah, both Williams having terrible races as Jordan comes to lap Maverick. But yeah, the questions I asked for pre-race interviews were along the lines of, who do you think you'll have as a rival for today? And do you feel you've got the beating of your teammate? Jonas picked out Greenfin and Lukey as rivals. None of them are anywhere near him, so fair play to him.
Lukey, of course, a Season 9 champion at F1 TS Hub. Might we add to that. Joel just inside the DRS zone now, so if he can keep it there, he'll be able to get the green flat open. And is he going to be able to get a move done, or is he? It seems like he's gaining ODEMs, and then through the high-speed corners, he just loses that time with that wing damage.
Yeah, it does. Maverick pinpointed Greenfin as rival, and he's about 34.5 seconds off of him. So he's got a lot of catching up to do to really stick it to him. Greenfin also pointed out Jonas and Lukey, so I'll watch out for that trio rather, throughout the season if they all think that they're within the same speed range.
Dan's car in the pits.
Super softs, does he?
Yeah, he's gone on to the super soft tyre, so you presume he'll finish the race. 10 laps to go here in the podium tier at Austria. I don't actually think we've mentioned that round 1 is Austria, Odens. We've been so excited with the fact the podium tier is finally back on Friday night. So Austria, as Dan car comes out of the pits, he needs to be careful here. Of course, he will be a lapped car, and just gets out of the way, touches the grass there. He just needs to let Ree throw through. Is he going to do it before this corner? Yes, he does indeed. So
was ahead of Jonas when he was lapped, and he let him go in probably the worst possible position just before turn 6, I believe. So Jonas also did a time, and as did Primeval Rex. I feel it's a shame for Primeval Rex. He's a quick driver, as we see in the pinnacles here, but he just seems to be unable to nail a lap down, like at all. And he's got front wing damage again, and as he comes into the pits, it's not been a good race for him at all. Oh no, he doesn't come into the pits.
yeah, it's been a difficult race for himself, particularly outside the points at the moment, currently in 13th. We've only had one DNF so far here tonight. Joret decided to park his car in the penultimate corner, I'm sure not out of choice. And Odems look a little bit cloudy as Rex now retires from the session. He's gone off track after the first corner, I believe that is, and he's decided to call it a day with his Williams. Not a good start to his championship this season, but you got to pick yourself up and come back stronger next week. You having a giggle still leads this race, Empatic in second, Jonas is in third, Razor is in fourth, Alan's in fifth, defending from Joel with all his life. Reflow is just trying to catch up, 1.3 behind those two. Greenfin 4.5, so a bit of a quiet race for Greenfin here tonight. Maverick is in ninth, looks like he's going to score some points if he carries on this result, and Dan's car, although he's had a couple of incidents, is in 10th position. So yeah, the two Renaults 9th and 10th. Z4, bit of a scrappy one so far tonight, and he is just about to be lapped, I think, or no, he's racing Mathis.
One driver retires, Z4 gets points, so who knows?
Mathis is right behind him though, Odems. They are just half a second separating them, so they found a rival on track to entertain himself for the last, 8-9 laps of this race. And is Mathis going to sling one down the inside here? He does indeed. There isn't too much room there. They need to be careful. One little flick of too much throttle and they'll both be in the inside wall. So Mathis gets past Z4 down into 12th position. Is he going to try something?
Sure.
Nope. Joel getting close, 0.2 of a second.
Alan had a kick him oversteer on the exit, and it just completely actually helped him. He got completely in Jor's way. Jor's gonna go around, try around the outside. Alan covers the inside. Alan goes
switch back.
Jor gets a switch back. He does, and he's got the boom gun. Brilliant.
You could see the extra grip there from those super soft tires.
Yeah, and ZR flow was caught to the back of these two as well.
So our Pinnacle tier drivers about to start the session, and it is getting cloudy, Odems, in this race here.
One thing I wanted to note was that these three are getting a bit close for comfort. Is that the ownership should be pitting soon, shouldn't he? I wonder where he's gonna feed into. That could be interesting.
Oh, look at this! We're swapping. We've got the Red Bull, and I believe is it rain?
Yeah,
my goodness, Austria, what are you doing to us on our first night back for season 11? It's raining here in Austria. You can see it coming down on the cars. You can also see Alan and Reflo going side by side now. Reflo goes very deep. He hits Jor as well, and then the car behind not Greenfin, it was a lapped car. I don't know if he got damage as well on his front wing, but Jor falls down 2 positions because of that. You have to say that was too late on the brakes in these conditions. Alan's going down the inside now and can't get the car slowed down. They touch. I don't know if there was damage. There was no damage from those two from that, so they got away with that one. Jor going, what do I have to do to have a little bit of luck?
This is amazing.
And do you know who this helps? Jonas. You know, on those ultra soft tires, if everyone has to come in, he will not lose a pit stop. So he will actually play this beautifully. And we see the Williams slightly pull away now from the two behind. Where is Jor? Jor's lost Jor pits, so Jor's had enough. Is he going to set the inters? This is going to be a very key decision.
Surely this is too early. For inters, surely this is a bit early.
We'll ride on board and see what he does. The intermediate tyres look ready. I see some green striped tyres. They're going on the car. The wings being changed. He needs to hope now it just rains.
Yeah, just pours down because I think he might be out of necessity because his front tyres might have been getting wrecked from that front wing damage. Interesting to see how the front two handle this. Everything just gained a second on you having a giggle. So who knows? Could be a last lap charge for Emphatic's. Jonas is still on the ultras, to be fair to him. We have 5 laps left and he's still on the ultra softs.
Greenfin catching up Alan as well. So we don't think Alan has damage in the Red Bull, but Greenfin he pitted later. So Mathis is also coming in now. Is he going to fit the inters? And lap 31 out of 36 here in Austria. And this is round 1 of the Podium tier, season 11. We've got rain for the final 5 laps of this race. Who's going to hold on? Who's going to take the win, Odems? It's all to play for.
So much to play for. Greenfin looks to have come alive in these conditions. These I know are Jonas' conditions. This is his favorite. So
Alan goes deep.
It does get good for enters. Yeah, he does.
Alan goes deep for turn 1. It's going to cost him a bit of time to Greenfin as well. What's happening here? Jonas is really holding on with those ultra soft tires. I wonder what percentage they're on, Odems.
If he one stops from super soft to ultra soft, I'll be very, very, very impressed.
Well,
let's find out more with Jor. Let's see if he's having a good time of it in these inters. It doesn't look too bad.
28 seconds the gap is to Greenfin. We'll have to keep an eye, see whether that's increasing and see whether that's the wrong or right choice. But you have to say, with the damage, he kind of had to do something. Maybe a bit of a risk was the only option he had left. Greenfin's under a second now on Alan. I haven't seen DRS disabled yet, have you?
No, I haven't. No. One thing to note is that Jonas is dropping like a fly.
And Razar's gaining.
Razar, I don't think he's getting that much though. The top part of a 22-second gap though to the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and you've got to say as well, Reflo somehow has managed to come out in 5th position after battling all race for that position. He's the man that's come out on top so far. Greenfin, what can he do?
I do think Jor's going to have something to say about that though.
Yeah, that pit entry wasn't the kindest. Jaw has lost at least a second. Greenfin gets past Alan there, so Alan goes deep, I think, again into turn 1. That's the only thing I can think. Greenfin was too far back to... was turn 2, was it? DRS disabled.
Yep. Is that virtual? Yeah. Unless Alan's just going really slow.
Jonas is in. Jonas is in the pits. Oh, he just gets that car slowed down in time. Intermediate tyres are waiting for him. Yellow flags in sector 3. And
Alan spun it. Alan spun it.
He was having such a good race. No damage to his wing. He's managed to keep it out the wall. Maverick's also in the pits now. You having a giggle has lost. You having a giggle has spun it. You having a giggle.
Oh my god,
and so is Empatix.
Empatix has spun it. Oh my god. What's happened there? Is surely you having a giggle spun and Empatix collected him?
No, I think Empatix just... I don't know. I think Empatix spun on his own accord. Reflow's coming into the pits now. He's going to benefit from this, surely. You having a giggle has possibly lost his race win. Razor's still out there on softs. He's struggling as well. He went wide at the same corner behind Jonas. Look at Jonas. He's only 3 seconds now behind Razor. And he was 4 seconds before he came into the pits ahead of him.
Oh my god, could Jonas be in contention for the win of this race all of a sudden?
Jonas could win this race. We have 3 and a bit laps left of this one here at the first race, and my goodness, has it not disappointed. These drivers are giving us amazing scenes here at F1 TS Hub. Jaw just comes out, gets past
Empatix
Alan.
Keeps going. Empatix keeps going. That's interesting.
I think that's the wrong decision, Odems. Yavin a Giggle comes into the pits, and Jonas, look at him go. He comes up to the penultimate corner now. He's got Razor. He's past Razor. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. So Razor coming into the pits, and there you go. Jonas is a man on the mission. You having a giggle? Where is he going to come out? Surely Jonas has got him.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Scenes here at F1 TS Hub in this podium tier, Odems. What's going to happen with Empatix? Surely he's on the wrong tyre now. It's just himself and Greenfin who are on that soft tyre. Greenfin continues on, so they're both going to try and go to the end. Razor Pitt did that lap, so he's currently in 5th position now. He's going to get passed by Red Reflow, I believe. This will be close now, Razor and Reflow.
I was talking about how they have a 22-second gap to the car behind, and all of a sudden, he's about to be overtaken by him.
So Razor gets out in 5th position. Greenfin moves up to 4th. He looks like he's struggling. He can't get the power down on the exit of turn 2.
Empatix almost set it into the grapple.
Empatix pits now.
I think he has to stay out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is absolutely crazy. How many laps left? 2?
2 is about to penultimate lap. Empatix is about to start, and he is absolutely crawling around, trying to keep the heat and temperature into those tires. Jonas, meanwhile, is what's happened to you? You having a giggle spun it? You having a giggle spun it in the final sector? He doesn't seem to have lost a position, and the car behind is on soft tires. So, my goodness, what an end to this race we've got here. Greenfin, what's he doing? Greenfin's continuing on.
I'm pretty sure Jonas had a penalty as well, and you having a giggle was 2.3 behind him. He would have still won. He didn't spin it.
Yes, definitely, but they've still got to catch Empatix. They've only gained 2 seconds this lap. That's not enough. They need more than that.
Empatix is absolutely crawling around.
I think whoever wins this race, Odems, is definitely going to be worthy of a Driver of the Day nomination. And make sure you head over to Twitter, give us a follow, and you can vote on that after the race later on tonight, after all 3 races. Our Pinnacle tier has started, by the way. Qualifying has started. So that is also live on our YouTube channel, but I don't think there's anyone who'd rather watch qualifying there than watch this final last couple laps.
I would recommend staying tuned, because who knows what could happen. Jonas has an 8-second gap. He lost about, I don't know, 4 seconds. The rain, I think, is getting heavier.
4 seconds that lap.
It's gonna be so close.
Now what can Greenfin do? Can he hold on to 4th position?
True, yeah. Could he hold on to 4th? It seems that softs are doing pretty well in these conditions, surprisingly. A lot better than I thought they would be, at least.
So Jaw is behind Reflow. Reflow in 6th position. And, oh, it looked like someone was getting a little bit of a tag slapper there. As we flick through the order, everyone is on the inters except for our race leader, Emphatix, who is on his final lap. Can he hold on? It looks like he might just do it. Is that a 6 or an 8, Odems? That's a 6.5 seconds. He's lost 4 seconds this lap already. And what can Jonas do? 6 seconds now the gap. They're on the same straight. Jonas is coming into the braking zone. Emphatic is coming into the braking zone. Jonas is now in it as well. Under 6 seconds. I think Emphatic might hold on to this one, Odems.
I think he will, you know. I don't even think he has a penalty either, so... Oof. He could have pulled a blinder, you know.
Started 10th on the grid, remember, so... let's ride on board. Oh, it's so close. 2 corners to go for Emphatic, our race premium driver in the Force India. He's never won a race here at F1 TS Hub. This is going to make him smile. 1 corner to go. Can he keep it on track? 3 seconds the gap. We've had a position change. Razor and reflow. We can't watch that. We've got to watch Emphatic cross the line to take his first win at F1 TS Hub. Congratulations. Jonas comes home. A solid 2nd place. You're having a giggle. He made a couple of mistakes, but the pace is there. Looks like he's going to come home in 3rd position. Greenfin looks like he might hold on to 4th as well, as Yavin Giggle goes completely off at the curb at the penultimate corner. Here he goes, exits the final one. He starts his season with a podium. He starts his F1 TS Hub career with a 15 point. And Greenfin now comes home in 4th position. Congratulations to him. Reflow on his debut makes the top 5. Nope. Razor steals 4th. Wow.
By 2/10.
Penalties did come into play here. Jaw, got pole position. You have to say he was the quickest driver here today, but it just didn't work out for him. Alan comes home in 8th position. Another solid debut. Good things from him to come, I think, Odems as well.
What a race. What a race.
So, the podium celebrations, it's time for some champagne. Emphatic's first taste on the top step. Massive congratulations to himself. And of course Jonas, I believe he finished 2nd in Spa last year, so this is his 2nd time standing in that spot where he is now. His first time, of course, from the Mercedes team. And Emphatic, this isn't his first podium, but his first win. You having a giggle, takes 3rd on his debut. Wow, what a race, what a start to season 11. F1 TS Hub Odems, we're back here on a Friday night.
You could not have asked for a better start to the season than that. That was absolutely insane. One of the best races I've watched ever.
That finale is fantastic. And what a last final 5 laps. In fact, what a whole race. It didn't disappoint throughout the start to the finish. Let's run through. Emphatic's in 1st, Jonas in 2nd, Yavin a Giggle in 3rd, Razor in 4th, Greenfin in 5th, Reflow in 6th, Jor in 7th, Alan in 8th, Maverick in 9th, Dan's Car scores points on his debut in 10th, Mathis in 11th, Z4 in 12th, Rex in 13th, and that is Kimi Räikkönen was Jorit in 14th position. So well done to all those who didn't get penalties. That's Yavin a Giggle, Razor, Emphatic and Dan's Car as well. So although he finished a couple laps down, he scores points. Odems, lots of drivers on their debut putting in some, even if they didn't get the result they were looking for, some good performances, some good showing, some clean racing. Fantastic here at F1 TS Hub. And Odems, Driver of the Day nomination?
Oh, has to be Emphatic. He started 10, didn't he?
There you have it. Emphatic goes on to take the race win. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. The Pinnacle tier is live. Of course, that is our middle tier. They are live right now. We're going to switch over to them. Thank you for joining us. Odems, thank you for joining me in the commentary box. Best of luck in the Prestige tier tonight. And Podium tier, thank you once again.